in. I'm Sarah.
Andrew Burke, EMC.
Andrew, nice to meet you. Come on in, have a seat.
Thank you. Mind if I put my notebook down?
Oh no, please. Make yourself comfortable. How's your day going?
It's going very well so far. How about yours?
It's going great, thank you.
Excellent. First, I'd just like to do my business card before we start off.
Great.
And if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a couple notes while we're here, just to kind of make sure, I understand exactly what it is that you're looking for, and we can go from there.
Great, works for me.
So, it's nice to finally get a chance to meet you. I've been talking to Ginny a lot. She's great. You're an awesome person, so I hear. So I know you guys do a lot of business together as well.
Yep, honestly, Ginny's been a great friend. We started out working together a couple years back and developed a friendship over time. But I apologize in advance for ignoring all your calls and emails. I just thought EMC was this huge company that was just out of our league price point wise and just technology wise. I just thought it wasn't even in our league.
Yeah, I mean, so in the past, we've oftentimes been associated with mainly dealing with just larger Fortune 500 companies, which we do deal with those companies. However, we do work a lot with small, medium-sized businesses as well. It's not necessarily new to our company, but we've been around for 30 plus years, so it's a little bit newer than working with the larger companies.
Okay, that makes sense.
We've done a lot of business with credit unions similar size as yourself. We have the Woodlands Credit Union up in New Hampshire. We have the Fall River Credit Union in Massachusetts.
Oh, good. I know those guys.
You name it.
Absolutely.
So we've done a lot of great work with them. Hopefully, we might be able to do something here as well.
Okay.
We partner up with Ginny oftentimes as well. Her and her company take care of the networking and security side of operations, and EMC, again, we deal with data storage.
Yep.
So that's where we come into play there.
Okay.
So if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been with the Franklin Savings Union?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've been here ever since the start. So I'm great friends with George and Betty. They started
the owners?
They're the owners. Yeah, sorry. So when they, we were great family friends, and when they started the credit union and asked me to be on board, I was honored and have just grown and developed with the business ever since.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's nice when you can get a company you're really passionate about with some loyalty there.
Exactly.
So obviously you've been here for this long. Things must have been working out pretty smoothly for you.
Yep, things are going well. They instill a lot of trust in me, and I trust their decision-making power as well. It's a great teamwork.
That's awesome. So we're pretty limited to time here, so we can kind of maybe stick to a brief agenda. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your company and how you guys operate behind the scenes, what type of system you use for data storage.
Yep.
From there, maybe we could talk a little bit about EMC, what we might have to offer you, maybe nice benefits to your company, and from there we should be able to maybe mutually decide on the next best step to take.
Sounds good.
But before we jump into things, do you think there's anybody else that might benefit from sitting in on this meeting with us? I know you mentioned George and Betty, maybe?
Yep, honestly, I'm the only one available today, so we'll just stick with this for now.
Okay. Based off kind of my research and what Ginny's talked to me about, we think we have a pretty good understanding of what your company's trying to accomplish overall for their objective, but my real interest here is kind of what you're interested in, what's important to you.
Yep. I think what's important to me aligns with what's important to the business as a whole. That's certainly something I've learned over time here. So what's most important to us is our end user's experience, right? You're a consumer, I'm a consumer. At the end of the day, it's in this line of business, it's all about, is the online banking system up and running? Are our end users happy with the products and the services that we're providing to them? So that's my job, and that's what's important to me, is to make sure that that is the case. And we must be doing something, right? Because we're opening up another branch not too far down the road in Hopkinton. So growth is obviously good for the business. So like I said, hopefully we're doing something right.
So expansion, that's definitely a good sign.
Yep.
Now, what type of system are you currently using for storage management? Because you're talking about expansion.
Yep.
Is that system going to be something that's capable of taking care of
multiple
locations?
No, I honestly, we're still working on the roadmap for that. So I work in the data center here, obviously. I'm not sure what's going to happen, whether we will be adding more headcount or whether I'll need to be in two places at once. I'm not sure what the future looks like in that sense.
What is the current system that you're using right
now? We're storing our data on direct attached storage, so directly on the servers.
Direct attached? And how's that been going for you so far?
Good. It's what we've been using forever. So I don't really know any differently, to be honest with you. It works for the most part, and it's easy to manage, which is hugely important to me.
Easy to manage. If you could maybe rate your system as a whole, from 1 to a 10, 1 obviously being a nightmare, 10 being a dream system.
Yep.
Where would your system stack up?
Not to discredit it, I put it at a 5. It's perfectly mediocre. For the most part, it gets done what we need it to get done.
Okay, so now when you say it's a 5, could you elaborate on that for me a little bit more? Is there anything, maybe 1 or 2 things that might raise that up to a 10?
honestly, data availability is the most important thing to me. I get pulled away from my family life quite a bit, regardless of the hour of the day or the night. Should a piece of hardware fail, I need to get out of bed at 3 in the morning, or I need to leave my brother's soccer game, whatever it may be. I need to get to the office to fix whatever isn't currently working. So it's personally definitely put a strain on some things.
Taking some of your personal time.
Yeah, so data availability, to answer your question, is probably most important in that time. Yep.
So you obviously big into family.
Yeah.
Your brother plays soccer?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Yep. He's just in college, so I get to go to all his games. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a great time in life.
Yeah.
If you could maybe guess right now, what would you say the total percentage of your budget is being spent on right now in terms of maintenance and overhead?
I honestly don't know. That's above my pay grade. Yeah. Okay. I just keep doing what I'm doing, and the lights stay on. So paying our bills somehow.
So right now, what I'm getting, your main issue right here is kind of the lack of time. The system goes down, you have to leave whatever it is that you're doing to go work on the system, which obviously is not something that's ideal to anybody in any situation.
Right.
I'd like to maybe present to you an idea that I think could definitely help you guys out, especially in terms of time management.
Yep.
We have a storage array system called the VNX E-Series, and what that is, it's a storage array system, like I said, but it takes the place of a couple servers. So obviously, if you have some issues with servers going down, you have to go repair them. It's a manual job.
Yep.
With the VNX E-Series, there's multiple drivers inside the system, so those are going to be able to, collect all the data, store the data, and if it detects if anything's malfunctioning within the array. So if something were to go wrong within one of the drivers, all that information would automatically get transferred into another driver.
Okay.
So right there, that eliminates you having to leave your brother's soccer game at noon time on a Saturday to go fix the system.
Right.
Because you have thousands of customers counting on you, obviously.
Right.
In addition to that, with the expansion going on, you're going to have to buy multiple new servers at your new location.
Yep.
With our VNX E-Series, it's a one-time thing. It's gonna work for both locations. You get one storage array system. You're going to be able to control it from your original location.
Yep.
So you won't have to be bobbing back and forth between Hopkinton and your original location.
Yep.
Which obviously is taking up more of your time.
Right. Honestly, what you're saying sounds like it would make my day-to-day life a lot easier. Certainly appeals to me. However, I really have no decision-making power. You definitely need to talk to the higher-ups about it. But I'm on your team, that's for sure.
Yeah. The main goal here, you're the one in the IT staff. You're the one that's working on this. You're the one facing these issues, and obviously you have the same common objective as your company. You want things to transition smoothly. You want everything to work effectively. So right now, judging off what I've got, I think that our product is something that could definitely help you guys out. And I think maybe if at a later date, I could maybe put a case together with one of my IT guys and kind of, put something together to present to George and
Betty.
George and Betty maybe. I would love to set up a meeting at some point next week. I'm not sure if next Friday works for you at all.
I can certainly run it by them. Fridays are usually pretty open for them.
Yeah, so I think, would you agree that maybe presenting a solution like this that would, in the long run actually save them money and, make your life a lot easier? Do you think that'd be something that you might be interested in?
Oh, sure. How can I deny that?
Right.
Yeah, if it's all true, then yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So, if next Friday at 10 works out well for you, I'm going to get back in the car, make sure it works for my IT guy, and we'll set it up for next Friday at 10.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Works? Awesome.
Okay.
Very nice to meet you. I look
Nice
forward to
meeting
next
you.
Friday.
Great. Thanks so much.